Yeah, I think when we put a plan together, once we know kind of the schedule congestion, um, I think it's just kind of communicating clearly on what we want to do. We continue to always prepare the same way, and even though we've rotated guys, the guys that are on the field tonight have a tremendous amount of experience. You have guys like Dan Lovitz and Jack Mayer who've played tons of games, Josh Bauer, and so we don't expect any drop off ever, and we always want to play our way.
Go ahead if you have a follow-up.
I do, sorry. So I'm recording and doing those things.
Take your time.
So you play for what impressed you tonight with Charlotte FC?
Yeah, I mean, I think Charlotte's a team that's obviously really well coached with Dean. They're a hard team to break down. They're very organized. Every guy has a clear role. And so I thought, again, and then their ability to sort of go after the game. You saw the energy, the competitiveness of that group that really sort of put us, on the back foot towards the end. But luckily we were able to, respond well and hold for the win.
And you had Ahmed Kassim playing a good chunk tonight. What would you say was his strongest moment in the match?
Yeah, really. I mean, there's a couple moments in the match of like about Ahmed. He's been doing great in training, and I'm really happy to take his opportunity tonight. But I think you can see just his versatility, his ability to play in a wide area and go one-on-one, or to play between the lines, and he was really able to help us kind of advance our attack.
All right, we'll move to questions in Zoom. As a reminder, to utilize the hand raise function. We'll begin with Ben Wright, and if you have a follow-up, you can go ahead.
Yeah, BJ. Sorry, I'm a bit congested. Heading into the match, I saw a stat that you guys led MLS when winning a game, just increasing the amount of possession you control. I'm curious. I know Charlotte kind of threw a lot at you towards the end, but it did feel like you were able to control the game with possession a lot this game. Was that a specific point of emphasis heading into this one?
I don't think specific to this game, but it's something that we emphasize as a way that we want to control the game and also try to end games. If we have the lead, we think using the ball is a great opportunity to sort of continue to manage it. And I thought tonight you saw good periods of that, especially towards the end.
And then I just wanted to ask about Patrick and Eddie's performance. Obviously, I mean they put in huge performances, but maybe goals hasn't been a part of it until this year. I guess could you speak to them individually? I mean, Eddie getting his first, and then Patrick continuing to push for a spot in the World Cup roster with Australia.
Yeah, I think the overall performance between those two is what kind of the standard that we expect from them. I thought they did a really good job controlling the middle of the field all night, moving the ball, advancing the attack, and also really good defensively. I thought they were able to sort of get into the penalty box and help us defend, and also defend the top of the box. These guys, I wouldn't say that we count on them to score goals, but in a game like tonight, they were opportunistic to take their chances and really helped us.
Move on to Claudio Villalobos. Claudio, if you have two, go ahead.
BJ, is there a feeling that maybe Nashville could have closed the game earlier?
Sorry, can you say it a little bit louder?
Yeah, is there a feeling that maybe Nashville could have closed the game earlier?
I mean, I think for us, it's an opportunity for us to continue to learn and get better. I think we did a good job of closing the game, and these are kind of the situations that happen when you're on the road and the team really comes out and is aggressive. But certainly, we're going to look back and find moments that I think we can improve. But that's normal. We're constantly evaluating and trying to get better.
Now, it's obviously Charlotte is one of the best teams in the league for sure. Their positioning in the East Conference tells you that, and everybody else. But it looks like as Nashville looked more comfortable today than they might have looked in Chicago. Is that a fair assessment?
I think each game is unique and different. Each team provides different challenges. I thought tonight, especially in the first half, we were able to use the ball and control the game. Credit to the guys of sort of their connection and how they were working for each other on and off the ball. So yeah, happy with the performance on the ball.
We'll move on to Jacob Shames.
Yeah, BJ, this was Jack Mayer's fourth game of the season. He's been, captain for all four of those games. What does it take for someone like Jack to not play for matches weeks at a time, but then come in and serve as captain and have to help lead up that back line? What does it say about Jack that he's able to do that?
Yeah, I think serving as captain is easy. Jack leads every day. So his role and responsibility in our group is just getting an armband. But the way he leads, the group, each and every day is he acts and carries himself as a captain. I think it's not just Jack, but a lot of the guys that played tonight. They have a lot of experience. They've played a lot of MLS games, and tonight's a great testament of the work that they do during the week. Right, these guys continue to stay ready. They continue to stay fit, so that when their number is called, they're able to come in and put a really good 90-minute performance together.
And I was wondering, do you have any updates on Alex Muyl and Ahmed Kassim?
I do not have any updates at the moment.
We'll move to Nick Frazier.
BJ, kind of sticking with the young guys there. Ruben's patience. We've seen him from time to time throughout CONCACAF, along with some MLS play. Just your overall thoughts on his performance tonight up top, and just how he was able to open up some space for some of the midfielders.
Yeah, I thought Rubens, has showed some growth in his play. His timing to come in between the lines and hold up play is one of his greatest strengths. And then I think he was, really a menace inside the penalty box. He attracts attention from the center backs, and that allows them, that allows space to open up for other guys. So a lot of dirty work by Rubens, but a really good performance by him.
And then Brian Schwacke, obviously it wasn't a clean sheet, but yet it kind of felt like that in some aspects of the game, having that saved penalty kick early in the middle of the second half, and then obviously the penalty near the end of the game there. Just what did you think about him kind of being able to just kind of recoup and kind of get his feet under him a little bit in the just crazy time of the game near the end?
Yeah, I mean, I think with Brian, with the ball, he was really an effective player for us tonight in our buildup. Made a couple big saves, obviously with the penalty, and there was a point blank type of save on a sharp angle that I thought he did a really good job with. Commits the penalty, these things happen. We'll continue to move and grow from those. But we care about the responses from, sort of mistakes. And I thought he really responded and gave us that calm at the end of the game to help us win.
We'll move now to Blair.
Hey BJ, a couple of your players ended up leaving the game early due to injury. Do you think the turf has anything to do with that?
No, I mean, I think both injuries, I guess to say. I mean, I don't have the extent of them, but they were just contact things. That comes from playing hard. I don't think it had anything to do with it tonight.
And then what can you take from this win? I know the situation is different in Mexico City, but what can you take from this away win with you to Mexico City?
Yeah, I think what it does is it gives us the confidence. We say that we want to go on the road and still play our way of playing. And I think that was on display tonight for the most part. And so for us, it's, continue to turn the page each and every day with the same objective, which is to get better, play Nashville soccer. And, we take that experience with us tonight. And also we'll take some learning opportunities on the way the game closed out for us when we move into Mexico City, which is our next match.